So everybody is getting to me. If you are getting to me, then I'm
Yes, sir. Yes,
starting.
sir.
Okay, then let's start. So in the previous lecture, we have studied about the phases of operations research. Now, according to your syllabus, we have to learn that what is a model and what is the modeling. Model means not a model of a Bollywood or the model who does ramp walk. Here the models is related to your operations research model, okay, that you will construct to solve a problem. So what is the problem? A model is an abstraction or an idealized representation of a real life problem. I will also explain it by an example. Okay. The objective of a model is to provide means for analyzing the behavior of the system for further improvement. For example, I told you that when we were trying to uh, identify any problem, such as related to your manufacturing. Okay, so what we have done, we have taken some decision variables. Okay, we have taken some decision variables. Uh, Let us see how we can formulate the model and what is the model. Suppose that let's just I am showing you I suppose so open it previously. This. Let us see here. We have a problem here. Okay. Let us first understand a model in the sense used in operations research is defined as a representation of an actual object or situation. It shows the relationships, either direct or indirect, and interrelationships of an action and reaction in terms of cause and effect. Okay, so it means the model represents your real life situations, all the activities which happen in your organization or your business. We have to try to represent those activities in a mathematical form. Okay, if we are representing our problem in a mathematical form, then we can say that we are constructing a model. Okay, so for example, we can say that road map of a city trace the shortest route from a given source to a given destination. So this is the related your transportation model. Transportation model like this. Suppose you have three sources: A, A, B, and C. Okay, and you have some destinations also. Suppose that these destinations are P, Q, R, and S. These are the destinations. And you have to send your product or item either from A to P, A to Q, A to R, and A to S. Similarly, from B to P, B to Q, B to R, and B to S, and so on. C to P, C to Q, C to R, and C to S. So this problem is related to your transportation model. So we have to construct a model. So what is this problem? The problem was your road map of a city to trace the shortest route from a given source to a given destination. Okay, so you will design a model. This is your problem. This is your problem for which you will construct a model which will be applied in your real situation. Okay, and also 3D view of a factory to plan the material movements in its shop floor, and linear equation to forecast the demand of a product. Let us see an example how we formulate the model. Now here there is an example, or you can say that there is a real life problem is given here in your organization. And organization is what? Nature Connection is planning 2 new public recreational sites. Okay, a forested wilderness area and a sightseeing and hiking park. Means Nature Connection is any organization which is planning to recreate 2 sites. The one is related to forest area and one is related to your hiking park. They own 80 hectares of forested wilderness area and 20 hectares suitable for sightseeing park. Means the total they have 100 units, 100 hectares. Okay, and from which 80 hectares was they can use for forest area and 20 hectares they can use for your sightseeing parks. Okay, and but they don't have enough resources to make the entire areas available to the public. Okay, they have a budget of $120,000 per year. Now they estimate a yearly management and maintenance cost of per hectare $1,000. Okay, for the forested wilderness area. Means they have total budget that is $120,000, and per hectare $1,000 they can expend, or maintenance cost will be used in your forested area, and per hectare $4,000 will be used for your sightseeing park. The expected average number of visiting hours a day per hectare are 10 for the forest area and 20 for the sightseeing park. Okay, so this is our real life situation. This is our real life situation. Now what is the problem? Problem is that how many hectares should Nature Connection allocate to the public sightseeing and hiking park and to the public forested wilderness area in order to maximize the amount of recreation, or we can say that in average number of visiting hours a day for the total area to the open to the public, the both sides, for both sides, given their budget constant. So this is our problem. Now we have to construct a model for this real life situation. Now this is a problem which we have represented. Now we will construct a model. So let us see. This is the model. This is the model for that given problem. Okay, so this all the mathematical formulas or all the variables, objective function we have decided, and after taking these all these things we have construct a model. So this model will represent our real life situation. Okay, suppose that here x1 and x2 are your decision variables. X1 and x2 are your decision variables. Means x1 hectare allocated to public forested area, and the x2 hectares allocated for sightseeing park. So objective function what will be 10x1 plus 20x2 to maximize your profit. Objective function is your 10x1 plus 20x2 to maximize the profit. And what will be the subjective constants? The subjective constants are x1 is less than equal to 80, x2 is less than equal to 20. What are these? These are the land which were used in for the sighting. Means 80 hectares for the forested area and 20 hectares for the land of park. Okay, so these x1 and x2 is not equal to LT. You can use maximum 80 hectares, but it can be also less than 80 hectares as per your objective function, which will maximize your profit. Okay. Similarly, in the X2 is maximum 20 hectare, but you have to also manage either 20 or less than 20, and your total budget is x1 plus 4 x2 means 1000. Here you can write 1000 for your forested area per hectare and 4000 for your sightseeing park, but you cannot expend more than $120,000. Okay, so this is a mathematical model which represents your real life situation. That was this. Okay, so I have shown an example to you that how a model represents a real life situation. So we can say that a model in the sense used in operations research is defined as a representation of an actual object or situation. It shows the relationship either direct or indirect. When we will solve the linear programming, so there will be also come some variables such as slack variable, surplus variable, and artificial variables. So all those variables are direct or indirect. Okay, and interrelationship of an action and reaction in terms of cause and effect means which variable has effect on our objective function. So this is a concept of model. Now, what is the modeling? Modeling is the process of constructing a model. Modeling means process. Okay. So here I have drawn a diagram which you are seeing in your screen. The real world problem. This is your real world problem. Okay. You will formulate a problem. You will formulate a problem that will be model. This. Okay. And after formulating model, you will conclude about that your model. You will conclude about your model. So you are doing this. Okay. So you have concluded your model here. Now you have to interpret it. Now you have to interpret your model conclusion. So after conclusion, what will happen? The real world conclusion will be given, just like I have shown you in this example. Okay, there is a real world problem. You have constructed a model. Now you have to explain it, or you have to interpret it, just like I have interpreted it here. Means what is objective function? That is z. This is a on maximize function which will be used to maximize our profit using this relationship, that is 10x1 plus 20x1. 10 hours allocated for the forested area sightseeing, and 20 hours are allocated to the your park area sightseeing. Okay, so by using these hours we have to maximize our profit. Okay, so now you can say that this diagram represents your real life situation. Okay, so this is the process of model. Now what are the different steps are included in the your modeling? How you will construct a model? First, actually the research, the methodology part of operation research and modeling, and also phases are interrelated. There are many steps are many steps will be repeated. Okay, now step 1 is identify the management decision problem of real world. Okay, first of all, the first step is your identify the management decision problem of real world. Just like I have a problem here. This is our real life problem. Okay, now again formulate a model for the real world problem. Formulate a model for the real world problem. We have formulated a model. We have formulated a model here. Okay, again, now Within the formulation of problem model, what we have to do, identify the parameters and variable which are involved in management decision problem. Means uh, these are the variables x1, x2. These are the decision variables, and 80, 20, 120. All these are your parameters. Within these parameters, you have to construct your model. Okay. Now, select the variables that appear to be most influential so that the model may be kept as simple as possible. Now we have to select those types of model which will be most influential, means which have most effect on our objective function. Means we will select all those factors or all those regions or factors which will affect mostly to the our problem. And also we have to construct model as simple possible. We are not trying to make our model complicated. Okay. And next, state relationship among the variables based upon known principles. According to the situations, we have to create relationship just like this. Here I have created a relationship between the budget that was available and the land that was available and the maintenance cost that was related to that land. Okay, 1000 for forested area, 4000 for your park, and but total cost cannot be greater than 120,000. So this is the relationship. Okay, so state relationship among the variables based upon known principles. Now construct a model by confining all real world relationship into a system of symbolic relationship. We have used symbols x1, x2, x3, x4, z, p, plus, minus. All these symbols will be used for constructing a model. Okay. I have also told you this in the phases of operations research. Actually, this is also comes under the phases of operations research because we are constructing a model. Okay, in phases of operations research also have some phases in which we try to solve our problem by step. Okay, now the next step is solve a set of equations, iterating set of steps, or make statistical analysis to optimize performance and draw model conclusion. Means when you will construct the model, you have to solve these equations. You have constructed so many equations here, just like equation first this, equation second this, equation third this, and this is the non-negativity constant, means conditions. Okay, so you have to solve these equations now according to your situation. Now after solving, you have to make conclusion that what you have find in your solution. Actually, when you will solve your model, you will get some numbers or symbols. Just like if you will solve this problem, so you will get some numbers. Okay, some number just like x1 equal to something and x2 equal to something. So this is the solution. Okay, now what you have to do, that is step 4. Now you have to interpret the model conclusion in terms of real world problems characteristics. Okay, the numbers or symbols that you will get after solution of your model, then you have to interpret that solution. You have to interpret the solution that you have find from the model, okay, according to your problem. Suppose that if you have got x1 equal to uh, 15 and x2 equal to 40. So 15 and 40, what are these? Then you will explain or interpret it that x1 is the forested area which can be maximize our profit if we have 10 hours for sightseeing to the forested area. Okay, and we can also reduce our cost in the 15 hectare, as the cost was $1,000 per hectare was required for maintenance. Okay, so you have to interpret it like this, your model. Now test and validate the result. Now you have to justify your conclusion. Now test and validate the results. Now means you have to again validate your results. Without validity you cannot apply in the real world. So you have to test using some techniques, the techniques that you will use to solve your model. Okay, statistical techniques or any other tools that you will use. So you have to test your solution and validate the results. Then you will say that your result is perfect for this real life situation because I have tested it completely. Again, after the validation, and also your test should be, your solution should be reliable. Also your test should be reliable. Now, after getting the validity, means when your top management valid your results, then you will implement that result in the real life. You will implement that result in the real life. Means you will try to solve the problem by implementing your model that you have constructed. Okay, again, revise the model as when necessary. Means now you have to revise your model time to time. Actually you have to control your model. You have to control your model as per the factors you have used. Actually the factors can be changed as per the time, as time is changing or situation will be changing. So you have to control over your model. Okay, so these are the some steps involved in modeling. These are the some steps involved in modeling. Again, let us see principles of modeling. What are the principles of modeling? Means what are the conditions should be keep in mind when you are trying to construct a model? The first thing, do not build up a complicated model when simple one be sufficient. Okay, I have also told you that you should not use complicated model. Building the strongest possible model is a common guiding principle for mathematicians who are attempting to extend the theory or to develop techniques that have wide applications. However, in the actual practice of building models for a specific purpose, the best advice is to keep it simple. Means your model have to simple as well as, means if you have to convince anyone, so the person who is applying this, that should be understandable for those person who are trying to apply your model. Okay, so model should be simple as you can keep. Okay, so never try to keep your model complicated. Second, beware of modeling the problem to fit the technique. Okay, for example, An expert on linear programming techniques may tend to view every problem he encounters as required in a linear programming situations. In fact, not all optimization problems involve only linear functions. Also, not all operations research problems involve optimization. As a matter of fact, or as a matter of variables, or as a matter of region, not all real world problems call for operations research. Of course, everyone search reality in his own terms. Of course, everyone search reality in his own terms. So the field of operations research is not unique in this regard. Okay, being human, we rely on the methods we are most comfortable in using and have been most successful within the past. Actually, we have to also see the our previous models or previous techniques that were used in the similar situations. Okay, we are certainly not able to use techniques in which we have no competence, and we cannot hope to be competent in all techniques. We must divide operations research expert into three parts, just like technique developers, teachers, and problem solvers. Okay, in particular, one should be ready to tolerate the behavior. I have found a cure, but I am trying to search a disease to fit it. I have found a cure, but I am trying to search a disease to fit it. Okay, among technique developers and teachers means you have to uh, use that technique which is suitable for your problem. Now, third principle says the deduction phase of modeling must be conducted rigorously. Means the reason for requiring rigorous deduction is that one wants to be sure that if model conclusions are inconsistent with reality, if model conclusions are inconsistent with reality, then the defect lies in the assumptions. Means if the conclusions that you have found from your model are inconsistent, then it could be possible that the assumptions you have made have some errors. Okay, one application of this principle is that one must be extremely careful when programming computers. If you are using computers, then you have to extremely careful. Actually, what happened, there are so many viruses or so many commands which cannot support your calculation, so it could be dangerous. And also, hidden bugs are especially dangerous when they do not prevent the program from running but simply produce results which are not consistent with the intention of the model. So again, the next step says models should be validated prior to implementation. Model should be validated. This was also your sixth step. This was your also fifth step. Test and validate the results. So validity is must. Validity is must. Model should be validated prior to implementation. For example, if a model is constructed to forecast the monthly sales of a particular commodity, so it could be tested using historical data to compare the forecast it would have produced to the actual sales. Okay. Actually, if you have studied the statistics, then you have also seen time series analysis. Okay. So just like this, it could be tested using historical data to compare the forecast it would have produced to the actual sales. In case if the model cannot be validated prior to its implementation, if your model is not validated prior to its implementation, then it can be implemented in phases for validation. It means you have to validate your model in different phases. For example, for example, a new model for inventory control may be implemented for a certain selected group of items while the order system is retained for the majority of remaining items. Means if you are using your model, then you can validate your model in different phases. Okay. If the model proves successful, if the validity is proved, or if the model proves successful, more items can be placed within its range. It is also worrying that real things change in time. Okay, a highly satisfactory model may very well degrade with age. So periodic re-evaluation is necessary. Means you have to control your model over time to time. Okay, you have to observe your model when you are using. Okay, next, a model should neither be present. A model should never be taken too literally. A fifth principle is a model should never be taken too literally. Means, for example, suppose that one has to construct an elaborate computer model. Suppose that one has to construct an elaborate computer model of Indian economy. Okay. Suppose that you are trying to construct an elaborate computer model for the Indian economy, with many competent researchers spending a great deal of time and money in getting all kinds of complicated interaction and relationships. And under such circumstances, it can be easily believed as if the model duplicates itself the real system. Okay. This danger continues to increase as the models become larger and more sophisticated, as they must deal with increasingly complicated problems. Okay, so that's why a model should never be taken too literally. Now, next principle says a model should neither be pressed to do nor criticized for failing to do that for which it was never intended. Never intended. Okay. Means one example of this error would be the use of forecasting model to predict so far into the future that the data on which the forecasts are based have no relevance. Means the data you are using for forecasting has no relevance to your uh, techniques. Okay, suppose that you have to forecast yourself for the year of 2022. Okay, now what you have to do, you had to take the data from previous year, previous 5 year or 6 year, but you are taking the data related to your 90s. So this is not relevant data according to your current situation. Okay. Another example is the use of certain network methods to describe the activities involved in complex projects. Okay, a model should not be stretched beyond its capabilities. A model should not be stretched. Means actually the model is constructed for a particular situation. You cannot apply these models as you want or more. You have to use your model for that situation for which you have constructed. Okay. Now, beware of overselling a model. Overselling means if sometimes it is also sometimes happens that the model you have constructed has failed. It is also possible When you were trying to construct your model, the conclusion was failed to describe your situations. Okay, so according to this principle is of particular importance for the operations research professional, because most non-technical benefactors of an operations researcher's work are not likely to understand his method. Okay, the increased technicality of one's methods also increase the burden of responsibility on the OR professionals to distinguish clearly between his role as model manipulator and model interpreter. Means when your model is failed to describe the situations, then researchers try to manipulate it. Researchers try to manipulate it, or they can interpret it wrongly. In those cases where the assumptions can be challenged, it would be dishonest to use the model. Then you should always avoid to use your model if it is not according to the condition. Okay. Now, the next principle says the sum of the primary benefits of modeling are associated with the process of developing the model. Some of the primary benefits of modeling are associated with the process of developing the model. Means it is true in general that a model is never as useful to anyone else as it is those who are involved in building it up. Okay, means if you are constructing a model or you are using, so this will be more useful for you. Okay, the model itself never contains the full knowledge and understanding of the real system that the builder must acquire in order to successfully model it. Okay, and there is no practical way to convey this knowledge and understanding properly. In some cases, the sole benefits may occur while the model is being developed. In such cases, the model may have no further value once it is completed. An example of this case might occur when a small group of people attempts to develop a formal plan for some subject. The plan is the final model. Okay, but the real problem may be to agree on what the objective ought to be. Suppose that there is a small group of people who are attempts to develop a formal plan for some subject. Okay, now the plan is your model, but the real problem may be to agree on what the objective ought to be. Means you have select a plan according to the subject, but actually what was the main object of that problem? So this can could be create a problem. Okay, and a model cannot be any better than the information that goes into it. Okay, like a computer program, a model can only manipulate the data provided to it. I have also told you in the features of operations research that the involvement of human is very important. Humans is very important factor in the operations research, because when you solve any problem, then without human you cannot interpret it. So just like if you have a computer, so until unless you don't give the commands to the computer, computer will not work. Okay, similarly a model cannot be any better than the information that goes into it. Just like a computer program, a model can only manipulate the data provided to it. It cannot recognize and correct for deficiencies in input. Okay, if you are trying to solve the problem and you are using computers, if you are giving wrong command, then computer gives you result according to your commands. Okay, models may condense data or convert it to more useful forms. Then you have to decide how you have to calculate. If you are doing wrong entry, you are giving wrong inputs, So result can be according to that, but they do not have capacity to generate it. Okay. In some situations, it is always better to gather more information about the system instead of exerting more efforts on modern constructions. Now, the next one is models cannot replace decision maker. Just I told you that. Just like online teaching or technology cannot replace the teachers. Technology cannot replace the teacher. As you know, you have lots of e-content, you have lots of books. Suppose that you have lots of books, but you cannot get proper knowledge until unless a teacher will teach you. Okay, so the models cannot replace decision makers. The purpose of operations research model should not be supposed to provide optimal solution free from human subjectivity and error. Actually, operations research model can help decision makers and thereby permit better decisions to be made. OR model only used to help to make better decisions. However, they do not make the job of decision maker easier. They do not make job of decision maker easy. Okay, definitely the role of experience institution and judgment in decision making is undiminished. Means for example, suppose that without the teacher, uh, this is not possible that all the information that is given in your book is you can understand properly. Similarly, a model cannot replace decision makers. Means he, the books can help you to get the knowledge, but to get the proper and accurate knowledge, you have to require the teachers. So similarly, model helps the decision maker to make a decision. Okay, they, the role of experience, intuition, and judgment in decision making is undiminished. Similarly, the role of teacher is undiminished, and here the role of experience and decision maker is undiminished. So these are the some principles of your modeling. We have also some types of model, or you can say that classifications of model. Okay, classifications of model, and we have lots of models according to the situations. Actually, the classifications of model based on different assumptions, such as model according to structure, model according to structure, and model according to nature of environment, model according to behavior, model according to using of digital computers. So there are so many types of models. Okay, but I think we don't have time now, so let us try how many models are here. Oh, it cannot be covered in today's lecture. It cannot be covered today's lecture. So can we try to cover the remaining part in next lecture? Okay. Everybody has wrote out your name in the chat section. Let us see. Ishta Karti, PMC, SSP, Shivani, Arpita. Amit, write down your name in chat section, please. Mantasa, also write down your name in chat section. And Mantasa, you have to also join the Google Classroom, please. Let us see. I'm showing the list of candidates who have not joined Google Classroom still. Mantasa, please join the Google Classroom. You have not still joined Google Classroom. Okay. So I think this is enough for today's class. So if someone has any query, please ask. Otherwise, I am winding up today's class. Okay. There is, if there is any problem in voice, so you can ask your question by chat section also. If you are not getting voice properly or you have any technical issue, so you can ask your question by chat section.